All right, we're recording now. John, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Hi, I'm John Albrecht, part of this group. And our first question is, do you think that families in your church know how to sit down for family worship? And I think my answer is yes, the families in our church do. They may not do it as a family super often, but the skills that they need for that, we've been teaching them through other practices, like how to lead a Sunday school class and how to lead a VBS. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident that people in my church are able to do it. And I've been hearing stories of them actually doing it. So, yeah. For question two, do you think pastors and leaders of your church have trained parents for such events? And again, I think the answer there is yes, because they've trained us how to go sit down and have evangelism conversations or have devotional conversations or how to go lead a Bible study. So while they haven't taught us for this situation, because they have given us the skills for other situations, I think I would say yes, they've taught us that. And then, do you think pastors and leaders? Do you think leaders have given parents resources? And I think our church is doing a great job of that, because throughout the week they're constantly throwing various challenges or ideas of things to do together as a family, just to keep things going smoothly. So I give my church props for that, and various Bible studies they're throwing at us. So even though we're not together, they're doing a good job of giving us resources to stay plugged in. Mm-hmm. And then the last question is, if I were in charge, what would I do? And I deliberately enjoyed looking at this question differently. So the way I choose to see this question, if I were in charge of the church, because I've enjoyed some of the good things about this adventure, I think if I were head pastor, I would somehow deliberately schedule something similar on an annual basis, like a 2-week media fast or 2-week meeting fast, just to deliberately put the encouragement on the families to meet together and realize we are the church, but you don't need this building. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. So thank you so much.
Yeah, great answers. Kim, we're going to go to you next here. Kim, do you need me to read the questions off to you again, or do you have them? You're muted again here. Let me make sure you're unmuted. There we go. Okay, go for it, Kim.
All right. So to the first question, do families know how to lead worship? For the most part, most of the families in my church, that most of the people that have families know how to lead worship, because most of them are theologically trained in some way. So I would hope that they are able to lead worship. Second question, well, since I've been a member of the church, which is about almost 2 years now, I haven't noticed any training for families on how to lead worship. But I would guess that's mostly because the families that we do have are very new. They only have toddlers, maybe up to 2 years old. So there hasn't really been a need for training until now. So I would say no to that. The third question, have pastors given resources? I would say not that I have seen. I don't have a family myself, so if maybe they have sent some resources to the parents that do have children, but I wouldn't know about that. And if I were a pastor, how would I do this? I would encourage parents to follow the example that they do see at the church every Sunday. Be ready to sing together as a family and pray together. And if they don't know how to dive into scripture and exegete some passages, then I would point them to some resources that would help them to learn that. So,
yeah, absolutely, great stuff. Mathing, we're going to go ahead and go with you now. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I believe that many families may not have family worship, maybe for different reasons, but because of this coronavirus, they have time and they are getting together, and church leaders are doing a great job in live streaming Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Friday, Bible study and church service. So a lot of things going on. So many families are doing that. So I really appreciate my church leaders, and even resources the church leaders are giving out. Lifeway materials, and also Bible reading plan and memory verse for a week. So that's my church is doing regularly. So I appreciate that. And what if I were a church leader? I would also want to engage in kind of video conferencing on specific topic, related topic, and maybe question and answer hours if there are any person wanting to engage in. And if I can provide material for those of them who are not access to Facebook at this time, that would be my plan. Thank you.
Yeah, great answers, Mateen. Gerhard, how about you, buddy?
Yes. So my church, in my church, there's a great homeschool community, and I assume that they know how to teach at home, and they also know how to do a family worship or family devotional. But I just can assume how many are doing this actually. And yes, I'm for 2 years in this church, and I think it's time for a new intentional training on how to do family worship at home. Yes, but for this time with the coronavirus, my church is providing material for kids, for families. They are working on it, and we have a bold course with memory verses and ideas for family devotional, for family worship. If I would be a pastor, or I would focus on intentional focus on intentionally teach parents how to lead a family, and I would also provide material to do so.
Yeah, fantastic answers as well. I'll go ahead and answer them as well. I'm kind of like Gebhardt in that my community here, there's a large majority that do homeschooling. And so I kind of like him assume that many of those families kind of have a sense of how to do a family Bible study or family worship time. Maybe they don't feel like they know all the rules to it, but I think they have a general sense of how to do it. I think the pastors and leaders in my church maybe haven't intentionally trained families how to do it. I know, for instance, I haven't led a course in how to sit down and have a family Bible study with these 5 steps, but I think that through the teaching of Scripture and in both the sermons and the Bible studies we do, I think there's an understanding of how to do discipleship in the family. And so, somebody's calling me, I'm sorry. I think that has allowed for families to kind of know how to do this at some level. And then I do think we've done a good job of resource providing, especially during this season. We are sending out weekly the Gospel Project from Lifeway, their curriculum to our parents to help them lead the Bible study times as well. So I think that's been a good way of reaching out to them. And we've done more things too. You know, we've tried to send out some more videos kind of talking through certain conversations or certain points of discussion with kids. And so I think we've done a good job there. When you lead churches, what will you plan to do? You know, again, these are unprecedented times, and I think we're all trying to figure out as we go what to do. But I think for the most part, I'd hope to focus more on making family ministry, and what I mean by that, families leading ministry a priority. You know, these ideas of doing at-home Bible studies and doing, sit-down discussions about a topic in Scripture. I think those are valuable. And I don't think they're as hard to do as people think they are sometimes. And so just kind of taking away that barrier of fear would be really important to me. So these are our thoughts. These guys are amazing, and you've been enjoying this broadcast here.